Okay, so let's dive right into it today. We're looking at banking security.
Okay.
The challenges of protecting data
Yeah.
across multiple locations, and
Yeah.
we've got this great case study about a finance company
hmm
that really transformed their data security.
Yeah, this is a really interesting case
Yeah.
because it highlights how vulnerable some of these systems are.
Right.
Their data was decentralized,
hmm
scattered across different branches, different servers.
Yeah.
So you can imagine the logistical nightmare just managing the backups, let alone
Absolutely.
the security risks.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like having,
Yeah.
multiple weak points rather than one.
Exactly. It's like
Yeah.
having a chain with multiple weak links.
Right.
And to make things worse, their system didn't have
Oh, God.
automated air gapping or immutability.
Okay, now those are two terms that I think
Yeah.
a lot of people might not be familiar with. Can you just break those down a little bit?
Sure. So immutability basically ensures that once the data is written,
Yeah,
it can't be altered or deleted,
got it.
even by an admin.
So it's like tamper-proof.
Yeah, think of it like a write once, read many
Okay.
type of situation.
Yeah.
And this is vital when you're talking about ransomware,
Right.
because even if attackers get into your network,
They can't.
they can't touch the backups.
Right.
And then you have air gapping.
Okay, so how does air gapping kind of
So that's the next level.
tight? Yeah.
Air gapping is physically isolating the backup from the network.
So this is like
So there's no connection.
a physical gap.
It's a physical gap.
Yeah, it's an air gap.
Got it.
So even if they get into your system, they
Yeah.
can't touch those backups.
So they were essentially operating without these two
It was a very risky situation.
basic defenses.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds really scary.
And that's where StoneFly's DR365V came in.
Okay, so the DR365V appliance.
Yeah. How did this address the problem?
So the DR365V is a backup and disaster recovery appliance
Okay.
that's really designed for this kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
Decentralized data, vulnerable backups.
Right.
And one of the key features is centralized management.
Okay.
So you can imagine a single console
So you would have to
to manage backups across all these locations.
go to all these different places. Yeah.
It simplifies everything, reduces errors.
So this must have been a huge relief
Oh,
for
absolutely.
the IT team.
It streamlines things, frees up time for other tasks.
Right.
But more importantly,
Okay.
it brings in those security features we talked about.
Oh, okay.
The automated air gapping and immutability.
So now they finally have those defenses in place.
Exactly. They've got the fortress with the moat. So
Yeah.
even if their network's compromised, the backups are safe.
And this is all great for security, but what about actually recovering the data?
Right.
If something bad happens, how quickly could they get back up and running?
So that's where Veeam comes in.
Okay.
Veeam is a leader in backup and recovery,
Right.
known for its speed and efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
And by integrating Veeam with the DR365V,
Yeah.
they were able to improve their recovery time objectives significantly.
So they wouldn't be, spending days or weeks trying to piece things back together.
Yeah, it minimizes downtime.
Yeah.
We're talking hours instead of days or weeks.
That's a huge difference.
It's a game changer
Yeah.
for business continuity.
So this DR365V sounds like it really kind of hit all the points.
Yeah.
Security management recovery.
It's a comprehensive solution.
But did it actually live up to the hype?
The results were impressive.
Okay.
Really impressive. Yeah, first of all, they cut their backup management time in half.
Wow.
So that freed up their IT team to
Yeah.
focus on other things.
So more efficient.
More efficient, more strategic initiatives.
Right.
But what about security?
Yeah. How did that improve?
Well, with the air gapping and immutability, they had a level of security they'd never seen before. They were finally confident that their data was really protected.
So they went from feeling vulnerable to
Yeah, it's a complete turnaround.
to feeling secure.
Yeah.
That's great.
And the impact on recovery was just as significant.
Okay.
The DR365 with Veeam slashed their recovery times by 75%.
Wow, 75%.
Yeah.
What does that mean for their business?
Well, it meant that if something happened,
Right.
they could recover in hours instead of days or weeks.
So less downtime.
Less downtime, less financial loss,
Right.
less disruption to their customers.
So it really was about business continuity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's another thing about the DR365V,
That-
granular data recovery.
What does that mean?
So instead of having to restore whole systems,
Okay.
they could recover specific files or folders.
Oh, so it's very targeted.
Yeah, like a surgical tool,
I see.
not a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
And this was really helpful in several situations.
Okay.
For example, they had an incident where a user accidentally deleted some files. Instead of restoring the whole server,
Right.
they were able to just recover those specific files.
So saved a lot of time.
A lot of time and avoided data loss.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and it also helped them with regulatory requirements.
Oh,
They could easily retrieve data for audits
I see.
without a big hassle.
So more control, more agility.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what about the future?
Right, because things are constantly changing.
Yeah, data volumes are growing.
Yeah.
So can this solution scale?
Right.
Well, the DR365V integrates with different storage technologies.
Right.
SAN NAS S3 storage.
So they're not limited.
Exactly. They have flexibility
Okay, good.
and scalability for the future.
And what about the cloud?
Yeah, they also have cloud backup and archiving.
Okay.
So that's an extra layer of protection.
Right, so they've got an off-site copy
Exactly, just in case.
just in case something happens.
Yeah.
This is really interesting. I mean, it shows how the right solution
Yeah.
can really make a difference.
It's not just a cost center. It's a business enabler.
Yeah.
It's about empowering businesses to operate with confidence.
So this has been a really fascinating look at data security
Yeah.
in the financial sector. And I think it's clear that this bank made the right move with this DR365V.
Yeah, they really turned things around.
They did.
Went from a vulnerable position to
Yeah.
a much more secure and resilient one.
Absolutely. And it's a good reminder for everyone,
Yeah.
not just banks.
Data security is everyone's responsibility,
Right.
and it's not something you can ignore.
So what are some key takeaways for our listeners?
Well, first, they need to assess their own vulnerabilities.
Okay.
Where are the weak points?
Yeah.
Do they have decentralized data?
Right.
Are they using air gapping and immutability?
Are they confident in their recovery capabilities?
It's about asking those tough questions.
Right. And then once you know where the gaps are,
Yeah, then you can start looking for solutions.
so what should they be looking for?
Centralized management, ironclad security, rapid recovery.
So it's about finding that balance between protection
Yeah,
and accessibility.
absolutely, you need both.
Right.
And don't forget about scalability
Yeah.
and cloud integration.
Thinking about the future.
Yeah, future-proofing your data protection.
This has been a great deep dive.
It has.
It's a reminder that data security is an ongoing thing. It's not a one-time fix.
It's a journey.
It is.
You have to be vigilant.
Right. Always looking for ways to improve
And the best time to act is now.
before something happens.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We hope you found this insightful,
Yeah.
and we'll see you next time.
See you then.